Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about writing conversationally for your blog posts. Many times, actually most of the time online, people want just informal blog posts. They don't want something that is going to sound like a textbook or read like a white paper or a journal article. They want something where they're going to connect, where they can relate to the author. So sometimes for me, that's a little trickier, I will admit, but I'm going to talk about it today and discuss some things that you can do in your writing to help you improve. So why write conversationally? It stands out more, it connects a little bit better with the audience, and the reader feels engaged with you. Um, there's more of an emotional connection. Many blogs, they share their life stories and their journeys, and they'll add in things like, or how do you feel about this? Or just questions that will relate to a specific audience. And that will draw people back. And you do want people coming back to your website to connect with you and to see what you're talking about. All right. So how do you do this? Before you write, whether you're writing as an affiliate marketer for yourself, or if you're writing for a client that has a target audience, you want to reference the reader's profile. So let's say you're writing for gardeners. Think about the type of gardeners that you're writing for. Are you writing for high-end gardeners that produce roses, or are you writing for the do-it-yourself, cheap as can be home gardeners that are gonna want to find the shortcuts for everything? Then you can think about how, you know, what things are they gonna choose. For example, a rose gardener, they're not gonna be interested in some of the same things that the vegetable gardeners are interested in. They're going to want to know what's going to produce the prettiest blooms. And the vegetable gardeners are going to want to know, hey, how do I get the best vegetables? So, an example of this is a broke vegan college student. So, writing a bad example would be, it may seem that health is preventing class attendance due to a deficient diet. Oh, that sounds bad. There's no emotional connection to it. Here's more conversationally. I get it. You're feeling too sick and tired to make it to class. Probably because your diet is full of ramen noodles. So, after you can see how that's a little bit more conversational. The message that's coming across is about the same, but it sounds like you're talking to a friend. I get it. You're sick and tired and too tired to make it to class. Very relatable. So another thing to do is to use contractions. For example, I would not do that. In daily life, you would probably say, I wouldn't do that. You would use the contraction. The other thing is the contraction makes it shorter and easier to scan. So use contractions when you can. And break grammar rules the right way. So some of the grammar rules that you've been taught in high school are to avoid using contractions, but as we see, it just sounds more like you would talk when you use a contraction. Another thing is you would avoid using sentences with a preposition, ending with a preposition. Oh, this is so hard for me. I do not. I still avoid ending sentences with a preposition. Uh, it's something that's innate. I know that I'm not supposed to do it. So when I write my blog posts, that's one grammar rule that I don't break. But ending a sentence ending with a preposition would be like, who did who is this for? Or who did you want to give this to? Avoid incomplete sentences, such as um, that isn't right. Avoid slang and don't use whom. We don't use whom when we speak. Don't use it. Don't use it in your writing. And another one is don't start a sentence with a preposition. Another thing, you can do it or not. It's not a big deal if you don't do it. So let's do some examples of breaking grammar rules. And you need to avoid using 34,567,599 different marketing tools and strategies. As you can see, this starts out with and. But you know what? It's okay. Some people, when they speak, they start their sentences with and. And then another one is this misspelling to emphasize super. This is super basic, but you get the point. Do you see how it emphasizes that word? I know how to spell super, you know how to spell super. You actually know that that's the word that I mean. And it gets the point across. It emphasizes a little bit more, and so it stands out a little bit more, but it's okay. But always keep in mind your client's voice and their brand. If this doesn't match up with their brand, don't use it at all. If it's just too informal for their brand, don't use it. But if you feel like it's connecting a little bit better and it gets your point across more, go ahead and use it. Another thing that'll make your blog posts stand out more is asking questions and using phrases. But guess what? Don't you think so? It gets people engaged and it gets people thinking. And then check it out. I like to use these and then add a recommendation. These are common phrases that you would use in your daily language talking to a friend. So one thing that will help you improve your conversational writing is to read it. Read other people's conversational writing a lot. Study writing and look for patterns and phrases that you like or that you don't like. So some great places to go check out conversational writing is going to be Quick Sprout, Copy Hackers, and Smart Blogger. So take a look at those after this video. And then record yourself. Record yourself talking about a topic that you want to write about. Listen and transcribe, and then look for the patterns in your words and phrases. What are words and phrases that you use often when you talk about loyalty programs and digital marketing? And what are the words and phrases that you leave out? Use that transcription to make your writing a bit more conversational. It's a great exercise. And I think this is the last. Oh, yeah. So that was the last slide. So let's go to, I'm going to take you to my blog post where I did actually use some of these tips and tricks. So often titles aren't questions, but for this blog post, I use conversational writing. Should you take grass-fed beef liver capsules? There was another one that I used conversational writing in the title for that I wanted to show you. But I don't see it. So that's okay. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this little conversational writing exercises. And I hope you start to improve your writing and make it more conversational. It's something I'm working on. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below, and have a great day.